You've been awake since 3 a.m. Your body is wrecked, your eyes are burning, your muscles feel like wet concrete. Every single signal in your body is screaming that you need sleep. But the moment your head hits the pillow, your brain lights up like a stadium. Thoughts race, your heart thumps, your legs won't stop moving, and you just lie there staring at the ceiling, furious at yourself for not being able to do the one thing every living creature on Earth is designed to do. So you try the obvious things: melatonin, a white noise machine, chamomile tea, counting backwards from 300, and maybe you drift off for 2 hours before your alarm screams at you. And here's what every article, every sleep hygiene post, every well-meaning friend will tell you: you're just stressed, try to relax. That advice is not just useless, it is fundamentally wrong about what is happening inside your body. Because this isn't a stress problem, this isn't a discipline problem, this isn't even technically a sleep problem. What you are experiencing has a specific clinical name: hyperarousal, and it is driven by a very precise, measurable 4-hour biological cycle that is actively preventing your nervous system from downshifting, regardless of how tired you feel. The exhaustion and the sleeplessness are not opposites. They are two outputs of the same broken machine. Today, we are going inside that machine, hour by hour, to show you exactly how this cycle works, why it keeps resetting on you, and the specific protocol to interrupt it. If you want the hidden science of the human body, not generic health advice, hit subscribe. Now, let's dive in. Let's start where this cycle actually begins, not at bedtime, but roughly 14 to 16 hours after you first wake up. These are waking hours, not hours spent in bed. Inside your brain, there's a tiny cluster of neurons called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your SCN. Think of the SCN as your body's master conductor. Its entire job is to coordinate a biological symphony, telling every organ, every hormone, every cell in your body what time it is and what it should be doing at that exact moment. When the conductor is running perfectly, it sends a very clear signal around hours 14 to 16. Begin the shutdown sequence. That signal triggers a cascade of events. First, your core body temperature starts to drop, about 1 degree Fahrenheit, which acts like a chemical lullaby for your neurons. Second, the hormone adenosine, think of it as your body's sleep pressure gauge, has been building all day, and at this point it's reaching its maximum pressure, pushing firmly against your brain's wake centers. And third, this is critical. Your SCN begins cueing the pineal gland to prepare its melatonin release. This preparation starts now, but it will reach its full peak approximately 2 hours later. Here's the problem. If during those critical hours 14 through 16, you've been exposed to blue light from screens, eaten a large meal, or experienced a stressful event, you have just handed the baton to an entirely different system. Your sympathetic nervous system, the fighter, the sprinter, the alarm. Think of your sympathetic nervous system as your body's emergency generator. It exists to override everything, including the shutdown sequence, the moment it perceives a threat.
And when this emergency generator fires, it releases cortisol and norepinephrine into your bloodstream. These are not subtle chemicals. Cortisol is your primary stress mobilization hormone. Think of it as jet fuel being pumped directly into your neurons. Norepinephrine is your alertness amplifier. It sharpens your senses, accelerates your heart rate, and essentially locks the door on any melatonin signal trying to get through. This is why you feel that maddening wired sensation even when your body is clearly depleted. The exhaustion is real, your adenosine levels prove it. But the emergency generator has overridden the conductor, and now the race begins. Here's the cruelest part of this cycle. About an hour or two after that initial cortisol spike, your body makes a partial attempt to recover. Cortisol begins to dip slightly. You'll feel what researchers call a sleep pressure window, a real biological opening where sleep is chemically accessible. Most people who experience hyperarousal describe this as, "I was exhausted on the couch at 9 p.m. I could barely keep my eyes open." That feeling was not fake. That was your adenosine gauge and a brave cortisol valley working in perfect alignment. a genuine window. But then one of three things happens. You push through it to finish something, your phone buzzes, or the anxiety of trying to sleep generates another small cortisol pulse. And just like that, the window closes.
Here is the science behind why it closes so completely. Your brain has a structure called the Locus Coeruleus. Think of it as your brain's watchtower. Its job is to scan for threats, and if it finds even a mild signal of danger or uncertainty, it fires norepinephrine across your entire prefrontal cortex. And here is what counts as a threat to the Locus Coeruleus: the abstract worry that you won't sleep. The thought itself, "I need to fall asleep," is frequently registered as a performance demand, which the Locus Coeruleus treats with the same chemistry as a genuine danger signal. This is the biological trap of insomnia. The attempt to force sleep activates the precise system that prevents sleep. Now we enter what sleep researchers have called the hyperarousal lock, and this is where the 4-hour cycle begins its true repetition. Your cortisol and norepinephrine levels have primed something called CRF, corticotropin releasing factor. Think of CRF as your body's loop button. Once activated, it signals the adrenal glands to keep releasing stress hormones in pulsed waves, approximately every 90 to 120 minutes. This is the biological reason you may feel a brief calm, then suddenly alert again, then calm, then alert, in what feels like a rhythm you have no control over. Because you don't. Not yet.
Meanwhile, your HPA axis, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which is essentially the command hierarchy between your brain and your stress glands, has been running in overdrive for so many consecutive nights that it has begun to dysregulate its own feedback system. In a healthy body, the HPA axis has a self-limiting mechanism, like a thermostat that shuts off the heater when the room reaches the right temperature. But chronic hyperarousal frequently leads to a condition researchers describe as glucocorticoid receptor resistance, meaning your brain's thermostat has stopped reading the temperature accurately. Your body is sending cortisol. Your brain is no longer registering the enough signal, so it sends more. This is a primary driver of why one bad night frequently compounds into 5, then 15, then months. And here is the critical piece most people never hear. During this locked phase, your brain is not getting no sleep. It is getting micro-sleep episodes, fragments of 2 to 4 minutes of light sleep scattered unpredictably. These fragments are just sufficient to slightly reduce your adenosine pressure, enough to stop you from crashing, but deeply insufficient to deliver the slow wave and REM sleep your neurons require for actual restoration. This explains the specific torture of hyperarousal. You are never fully awake, never fully asleep, and you feel worse in the morning than if you'd simply stayed up. Here is the final and most physiologically cruel phase.
Between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., your body does something that seems almost spiteful. As a built-in biological preparation for waking, for all humans, cortisol begins its natural morning surge. This is called the cortisol awakening response, and in healthy sleepers, it's a gentle ramp that integrates smoothly with the end of their final REM cycle. But in a hyper-aroused system where cortisol has been elevated all night, this pre-dawn surge arrives like a second alarm on top of an alarm that never turned off. It is frequently why hyperarousal sufferers report their lightest, most fragmented sleep, or complete wakefulness between 3 and 5 a.m. specifically. Your body isn't broken, it's executing a program. The program has simply been corrupted, which means your fix isn't another supplement or a stricter bedtime. You need to interrupt the specific biological signals that are locking this cycle in place. Here is how we do it. Quick note, everything in this framework is evidence-informed, but please consult your physician before making changes, especially if you're managing a chronic health condition. Remember how phase 1 requires your core body temperature to drop to initiate the shutdown sequence? You can manually trigger this signal and bypass the cortisol interference by using what researchers call passive body heating followed by rapid cooling. Here's the practical application. Take a warm shower, not hot, warm, approximately 60 to 90 minutes before your target sleep time. The warm water temporarily raises your skin surface temperature. When you step out, your body aggressively dissipates that heat, causing a rapid drop in core temperature, directly mimicking the signal your SCN sends to initiate sleep. A 2019 meta-analysis in sleep medicine reviews found this single intervention improved sleep onset speed by an average of 36%. This works because you're not fighting cortisol, you're triggering a competing physical signal that your nervous system cannot easily ignore.
The locus coeruleus, your brain's watchtower, fires on perceived threats. The single most evidence-supported method to directly suppress its norepinephrine output is physiological sighing, a double inhale through the nose, followed by a long, slow exhale through the mouth. This specific breath pattern has been shown in Stanford research to produce the fastest reduction in physiological arousal of any breathing technique tested, faster than box breathing, faster than 4-7-8 breathing. Do 5 cycles. Then, instead of trying to sleep, give your brain a simple cognitive task. Mentally trace a familiar route, the layout of your childhood home, a walk you know by heart. This engages your visual cortex just sufficiently to redirect prefrontal rumination without triggering the performance anxiety that signals the locus coeruleus. You are not forcing sleep, you are removing the obstacle. To interrupt the CRF loop, the mechanism keeping your stress hormones pulsing, you need to address light exposure with surgical precision. In the morning, get outside within 30 minutes of waking and expose your eyes to natural light for 10 minutes minimum. No sunglasses. This single behavior resets your SCN timing with more precision than any supplement currently available, and it has been shown to reduce evening cortisol levels by recalibrating your circadian cortisol curve across a 48-hour window.
In the evening, begin dimming all light sources, screens included, starting at the phase 1 window, 14 to 16 hours after you wake. Not because blue light is vaguely bad, but because blue light specifically suppresses melatonin synthesis by inhibiting the enzyme arylalkylamine N-acetyltransferase in your pineal gland, which is the precise biochemical gate your SCN is trying to open. You are not setting a mood. You are unlocking a gate. Your adenosine gauge, your sleep pressure, is your most powerful natural sleep drive. And the single behavior that most frequently destroys it is when almost everyone does, napping past 2 p.m. or for longer than 25 minutes. Every minute of sleep, day or night, drains your adenosine gauge. A 90-minute afternoon nap can reduce your evening sleep pressure by up to 50%, leaving your cortisol with far less biological competition at bedtime. If you are exhausted during the day, a 20-minute nap before 2 p.m. is protective. Anything beyond that is frequently a primary driver of the next night's hyperarousal cycle. Guard your adenosine. It is the most undervalued sleep resource you have. Here is what I want you to take away from this. You are not a bad sleeper. You are not broken. You are not someone who just can't sleep. You are a person with a measurable, describable, interruptible biological cycle that has been running unchecked, largely because no one ever explained to you what was actually happening inside your body.
The exhaustion is real. The hyperarousal is real. And now you understand exactly how they are connected. That knowledge is the beginning of fixing it. If this gave you a new way to understand what you've been experiencing, share it with one person who stares at their ceiling at 3 a.m. They need this more than they know. And drop a comment below. I want to know, what is the single most frustrating symptom you're dealing with right now? Is it the 3 a.m. wake up? The racing thoughts? The wired but tired feeling that won't quit? Tell me below, because your answer shapes what we cover next, or something else entirely.